Roofing isn't just about shingles anymore. It's all about customer experience. Homeowners expect transparency, updates, and professionalism, and the best roofing companies are delivering that using tools like Arrivy. In this video, I'm going to show you how top roofing companies use Arrivy to run production, control labor, and create a customer experience people actually talk about.
Why is it that my homeowners, when they're buying a $17 sandwich from Uber Eats, they get this experience, but when they buy a $17,000 roof, they don't? We need this. And so I found this thing called Arrivy, and it was originally a tool for moving companies. And I said, hey, could this work for roofing? And so we adapted it, and now the whole company has changed into a field service management tool for home services. So what is Arrivy? So I want to show you guys a little preview inside. So this is a company, one of ours that runs really well. And the nice thing is like at any given point in time in this day, 11/27, I can see where these guys are. I can see them by their face. I can see where they're at, where they're off to, what they're doing. I can see which tasks that they're on. I can also see their route for the day. So I can see, oh, that's where this person is going today. And we can set this up in an intelligent way so that it's like, okay, this is the order of their route today. This person's got one stop because it's an install. This person has multiple stops. I can go through, I can see from estimator perspective and a production perspective where everybody's going today. So a site supervisor would have this app, and that's how they would know where they're going. So this one here, he's got 2 projects on the go, so it might be a repair, right? But you go through and you see like, what are people doing on these tasks? Okay, this one here, roof removal complete. I can see the original contract. I can see the sumo quote. This is the work order, so I can see my materials. And then I also have these tasks or forms. I got the CompanyCam link. As they take pictures throughout the day, these pictures will go into CompanyCam. So you can see this site supervisor is using a drone. And so as he goes throughout the day, he takes pictures, and then he can move the status from we're on our way to it automatically goes to arrived when we get there. Confirm the materials right, confirm the safety setup's done right. Basically here, there's a message that goes to the homeowner that'll say, hey, don't come out of your house because we're throwing shingles off the roof and we don't want to hit you in the head. But then once the roof removal is complete, like it is in this picture, it's like, hey, all the pieces are done flying off the roof, so still proceed with caution, but you can come and go now knowing that there isn't shingles flying off. Then it's like, hey, prepping and waterproofing complete. So now your roof has got the underlayment on it, it's prepped, it's waterproof, then we're shingling. Hey, we're going to be finishing up soon. Might be time to go run to the bank to get a certified check. Hey, capping and cleaning is complete. Come out and take a look at your job. And then we're complete. We're done the job. We can have a project carryover. If we're done for the day, we can put a project on hold for whatever reason. And then there's even an exception button. What we do is we have to build out task template. So you have a task template for an inspection. An inspection follows a process, right? You're on your way. You've arrived. Your ladder set up. You got to maybe say preparing inspection or ready to present. Well, now we know that guy's walking up to the door. He's going to be 45 minutes. And there's a message. It says, hey, I'm coming up to the door. Put your dog away. Because now they know that you're walking up to the door. They're kept in the loop. Same thing for an install. We have our production repair. So that has some statuses, which is like, okay, we've got the right material for this repair. Safety setup. We're starting the repair. And the customer can get these custom messages. So we write those custom messages in here. So you have your default messages, which come with the system, but then you can have like install, safety setup complete. And there's a message. Our safety setup is now complete. We'll be shortly beginning preparation to protect your property during the installation. Stay tuned for more updates. And customers remarked upon that in the reviews. All you got to do is push a button and the customer gets this message and they go, oh, that's great. And they have the CompanyCam. So then they can also see the pictures, and we're making this into an experience. Is it overkill? You bet your ass it is. But then they also have access to these forms while they're out there. And we can say, hey, what did we actually pay for today? So you can put your rate sheet in here and say, hey, this is what we're doing today. You can have your site supervisor say, hey, how many squares did you do? How many of those were 712s? How many bundles of starter did you use? Did you do a skylight reflash? How many linear feet of this? How many plywoods did you install? Did you have to reflash a chimney? Did you do the disposal? Or are we doing the disposal? Because then when this is filled out, then on the next screen, if a change order, I can start typing here, and then it'll pop up the ability to create a custom change order charge to say, hey, you guys also did this other thing. And then what happens is we're able to say, okay, photos were taken, inspections complete, who is the sub that did it, and then we can get them to sign off. And essentially what we're doing is we're saying this is what your invoice should be for. Because when we talk to large companies like Apple Roofing, when I was there, they had to make their own custom website for subs to basically log what they did each day. Because what would happen is the sub would send them invoices, weeks or even months later. Sometimes your subs will treat you like a bank. You know what I mean? They'll do all this work, and then all of a sudden you get like 32 invoices and they want to be paid right now. And what the sub was doing was billing us for the amount of materials on the packing slip because that was the only thing he could remember. And I was feeling like the gross profits were less than they should be because I was more on the sales, marketing, and business ops side, and he was more on the production side. I was like, something doesn't line up. Can you go through this? And we argued about it. Finally made a spreadsheet and they looked at it, and we overpaid this sub by like 45K or something like that. It was a big number that we overpaid the sub, and it was awkward conversation and all this kind of stuff. We want to avoid that. Right. And that's what this Subcrew Payoff Sheet does, is allows us to say, hey, what'd you do today? And then we can have it go against our rate sheet and basically be like, well, that information spits back over to HubSpot. And we can say, well, sub bill should be $2,652 based on our rate sheet. So when it comes in at 3,000, we have to say why. And when you're doing 40 million a year, that's a big difference. If it's 15-20% more per sub bill, you go from 2,600 to $3,000, that's a 20% increase over the course of what, 40 million, that's going to be about $12 million worth of labor. So 20%, that's $2.4 million. It's a lot of money. If you build these systems now, this doesn't bite. You don't have to pay $1 million in stupid dumb tax because you didn't build it right now. Right? It's why you want to do that. So that's one thing. The other thing we have is another form for the ability to create a quick change order while we're out there in the field. So yeah, you can use Sumo Quote to do it, but you can also create a quick change order and have that go back and impact the deal in HubSpot and add the deal up without having to go into HubSpot, which the field people are not usually wanting to do that kind of thing. Now, the other piece behind this is that in business, I like to do multiple checks on the customer experience because it's good to be able to see how is our customer experience going over time. People will have a great experience in sales and then all of a sudden a bad experience in production, but then a good experience on site or some variation. So we like to send out little feedback surveys, not Google review requests, but feedback surveys either through HubSpot or through Arrivy to say, hey, how are we doing so far? So we can monitor that experience over time and we can see where are we losing people. Plus, if I'm going to ask someone for a Google review, it really helps me to know if they've been a Karen the whole time. You know what I mean? That I should probably be able to predict this. I want to know they're being a Karen 3 times, not once. I don't want a chance to miss that signal. So after that experience, just like Uber Eats, it says, hey, how was your estimate? How was your install? And we get these reviews, and like these reviews are crazy. They love this process. When you're on a task, the customer sees this on their phone or on their mobile phone. They're going to see who's assigned. They're going to see this journal coming in. They're going to get a chance to view this experience. They're going to see the status. As this fills up with more messages, there'll be more here. And customers check this stuff. And then they leave great reviews about how they love the experience. And then if you're looking for someone to ask for a Google review from, well, the thing is, this writes the Google review for you, right? This experience gives them something to say. Because remember, in order to be remarkable and to be recognized as remarkable, you have to give your customer something to remark upon. So if you tell people what you're going to do what you said you're going to do, show them that you did it, and tell them what's coming next, they will know what to talk about. Because most people just like, well, they come out at the end of the day and like, wow, that was fast. I don't know if I necessarily appreciate all the money that cost, because it seems like you guys did that and did 15,000 one day, huh? Well, I mean, yeah, it looks good, I guess, right? I mean, ground's clean. You don't have the opportunity to like really tell them, like, the fact that you make it look like a breeze doesn't mean that it's worth less. It should be worth more. So you got to tell them what's happening. And all it takes is 6 times pushing your finger on a button, and you can tell them what happened. So if you're promising the best experience, and what I mean is like talking about this experience on your website, showing the customer what they get, showing the customer we're the best roofer. And they say, well, how? Can you prove it? Like, in what way? Oh, well, you're getting up to the minute updates, just like Uber, right? You can present this in your marketing, present this in your website, present this in your sales process, demonstrate it with your sales process. So it's like the same experience you got when I was on my way, you're going to get the same thing when the repair guy comes. Well, then all of a sudden you can be remarkable. And to me, yeah, overkill's a good thing, because if the customer was in the room and they had a vote, what would they vote for? That's why we like this tool. But it requires that we're strategic. And again, the tool doesn't matter as much as the process, and the process doesn't matter as much as adoption.